Hello there, beautiful people. My angels wanted me to address you in that way today because you're looking extra beautiful for some reason. Or you need to realize you're looking extra beautiful. Maybe you haven't given yourself that credit. But what was the message for today? Oh yes. Okay, so I'm hearing you're rushing God's work. There are many pieces at play in your timeline right now. And they haven't all wound together. And I'm hearing you're rushing it. You are rushing God's work. You're rushing the timeline. You are pushing for things. That's the big word, pushing for things. Sorry, I have my Spindrift here. It felt right, but also like, I hope I'm not burping the whole time. Anyways, yes, rushing God's work. There are so many things being woven in your life. Like, I'm just seeing like these threads. I'm hearing the word threads. Like, there's so many threads coming together right now. And you have a lot of expectations of the timeline that things should play out. And they're like, you're not giving yourself enough credit for how far you've come right now. Like, that is something big. Like, they want you to take a step back and give yourself credit for how far you've come. And maybe you're not on the exact timeline that is in your brain or that's in your mind or that society has made you believe and deems the most important timeline and the way that we should all be living our life. But you are on your own timeline. You are on a timeline. I have to put this down. You are on a timeline that your soul chose. And they're this is cool. They're calling me to explain this. Before we came to Earth, each of our souls was here planning and prepping for this experience here on Earth at Earth School. And wow, this is so cool to be witnessing this like explanation right now, because this is something that I personally believe, but to just hear the angels and guides explaining this, like, it's very cool. They want you to know that before you came to Earth, your soul, oh my God, I'm getting so emotional. Your soul chose this. And they're like, don't rush it. Like, your soul wanted you to experience this. Your soul wants to experience this. Like, you're not behind. You're not behind. You do not need to get anywhere, and you do not need to be any other place than where you are. Like, your soul chose this. This was all written. This was all for you. And just because of the beliefs that have been put in your brain of what's important and what deems you as valuable, is actually things that have been programmed into you. And they want you to I'm getting a little bit of a headache. Maybe you've been feeling some like mental pressure this week, or just, things have been heavy in the mind space. Just releasing that pressure. But they want you to, I'm hearing like, stop organizing the timeline. It's already been organized. And that, I can almost feel you like cringing at that, or like tightening up at that, like having like a no at that, because you're like, no, I want to be on my timeline, and I want to be like on the way that I'm going to be doing things when I want to be doing them. And they're like, you can try to live your life that way. You can really try to live your life that way, but that's not what your soul wanted. Your soul didn't want to be pushing towards this certain thing. Your soul wanted you to experience these things. They wanted you to go through these hard emotions. They wanted you to go through these hard experiences so that you could come out of this lifetime with these lessons. And confirmation honk. So that you could literally go through this lifetime and learn these lessons. Because like, in reality, they're like, who else gets to feel these emotions besides you? Who else gets to pick up on this exact wisdom besides you. And if you look at it like that, like if you look at it as a blessing, as this wisdom that you're receiving as is a blessing, it's like, it's literally magic. That's what I'm hearing. Like, it's literally magic. And you're getting frustrated. You're getting frustrated at like the fact that things haven't come, that things aren't playing out like you expected. And they just want to remind you, like, it's actually better than you expected, because like all of these things are prepping you for who you are and for your purpose and for who you came here to be. And you don't want to have to repeat this lifetime. You don't want to have to oh damn, this is deep. We're getting into some spiritual stuff this reading. Like, another thing, they're guiding me to explain this. When you reincarnate on Earth as a soul, and you have past lifetimes where you have not learned the lesson of what you needed to do, you go into that next life and you oftentimes are set up in a similar way to experience the same thing, to go through that lesson and finally learn that lesson again. And they're like, do you really want to learn it again? Do you want your next lifetime to be filled with this again? And that's like kind of how karma works. Like, it's like, karmically, do you want this to be set up? Or do you want to complete this chapter and like own these experiences and honor this lesson? Because, and also have the courage to move through this, because it is a courageous venture that you're in right now, going through whatever you're going through right now. All I know is that it's hard and that you have been going through it. But they're like, milk the wisdom. Extract the honey from this wherever you can see, wherever you can get it from, wherever you can change your perspective to realize this actually is the nectar. This actually is the nectar of your experience. This actually is a huge lesson. This actually is like the development of your life. Oh, this is like a very intense message. This is very deep, but it's also so beautiful. And they're like hoping your soul sees it like that, because and honors this wisdom, because it's very easy to think that you're behind. It's very easy to look at others and compare. It's very easy to put yourself in. A little feather just fell. I just ruined it. Sorry, feather. It's very easy to look at others and like think that you're not where they are at, or they have it all figured out. They don't. No one has it figured it out. And also, like, they came to this world to go through their own soul's lessons, or to aid others in their soul's lessons. So it's like, this is your purpose. This is your timeline. And they're like, think of it as a blessing. Think of it as a blessing. Because when we pass on, we go to the next life. When your soul connects to like your whole entire being, when this lifetime connects to your whole soul and your whole entire being, like, there's going to be this like realization of like, oh, like, I get that. Like, okay, let's plan for the next life, you know? Confirmation burp as well. And so they just really want you to see that. They really want you to acknowledge that it's literally like not, sorry, I just realized there's people on the balcony over there and they're lighting up a J. I didn't even see them before. Maybe that's relevant. Is that relevant, Spirit? They're saying no. Well, that's fine, you know? But anyways, they really want you to see that, like, this is actually a very cool experience that you're going through. This is actually, and it probably doesn't freaking feel like that. Probably feels like you want to be somewhere completely different. but like milk the nectar. Spend time reflecting. Spend time journaling on what you were learning. Get really real on what you are learning, because it can take 10 years to learn a lesson. Like I was actually reflecting with a friend today about things that took me 10 years to fully get, to fully just be able to own my inner compass and own who I am and own like what I needed to do to respond to these situations, and then have it not affect me. So confirmation hawk, like, and they're not saying whatever your situation is going to take this long or is going to take years, but they're like it's going to show back up in your life, and it's going to be present in some way if you keep responding to things in the same way. If you don't slow down and you keep responding to things in the same way, that's a big message too, like slowing down, being present, honoring this, surrendering, trusting. All those words are coming up. Like it's such a big time for that. Like they just want you to know that this isn't an error. You're not doing something wrong. You're not failing. You are actually blossoming into your truest version of you, into your highest self. And that if you could just flip the narrative and think about yourself as this blossom who is like growing into this beautiful flower, and like you are that flower. You are honks. You are that flower, and like they just want you to see yourself like that, because that's how they see you, and they're always here for you, and they're always like cheering you on. They always see you in this highest light, but you don't always see that. You compare. You see others and you don't think you're as good. You see others and you might not think you're at the same stage. It's simple comparison. It's very easy. It's easy to compare yourself to others when you have completely different life experience and your souls are completely different on completely different missions. And they're like, if you would just realize that, there would be a lot more fluidity of just saying like, I'm on my soul's journey. And actually, am I gonna remember this book? I think it's by Michael Singer, and I think it's called it's something about surrendering. It's like the surrender experiment or something. I think it's called that. But it basically was this book all about how Michael Singer, and I'm pretty sure it was him, he spent his entire life just allowing. If someone came to him asking him to do a job, he'd do it. If someone wanted him to run this company, he would do it. If someone wanted him to build a house for them, he would do it. And he had this just like really long journey of just surrendering, and he became this like multi-millionaire author, business owner, entrepreneur, all of these things. Like he became this like very rich and wealthy man just by surrendering completely to the universe. Because that is honoring his highest path, and that would be honoring your highest path. And you think you have to control every element to like literally control, to end up in this place where so many words. You think you need to control everything so that you end up in the perfect place that you have designed in your mind, and the universe is like, you cannot. They're literally like, they want to like hug you and coddle you, and they're like, you do not even know how good it can get. You do not even know how good it can get. And we are this other half of the creator that can come and support you, but you are doing everything. You're taking up all the space, and there is no space for us right now. There's no space for us right now to come in and work our magic. Wow. And they want to have space. Surrendering, trusting, really, like the surrendering experiment was such a beautiful book. And it really did transform certain parts of my life. I do also like love human design, so listening to your strategy and authority in human design, if you haven't heard of that, is also very helpful. And that's not just surrendering, that is using your strategy to based on your energy type in human design. Also, this is a lot of human design lingo, so if you don't know human design, that's okay. But listening to your strategy to be able to respond to things or do whatever your strategy is to interact with the world. But yeah, there's magic in letting go. There is a lot of magic in letting go, and they want you to remember that. They want you to remember that. Another book that was really helpful in my journey that's coming up is A Return to Love. It began my whole entire journey of surrendering and allowing and trusting, because it's like the feeling of like I get really, or I feel like I've gotten so much better at it, but like I used to get really freaking nervous when I would public speak, and that book helped me so much because I would be like so freaked out, but the book would just talk about like surrendering, like you're always going to be in the right place at the right time. And so before I would have to public speak, I would just be like, I was put here for a reason. The universe wants me to be here, and so they are going to provide me all the tools to get through this. And that is like that gives you so much air, it gives you so much space. It's like this pillow that you can land on. You're just like, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about my wants. It's not about my desires. I can surrender to the universe, and I can literally not give a flying F in the world, and like literally just release it all. Because that's what we are at the end of the day. We're this energy, and we are a part of this collective, and we are not here to, we're all connected. So it's like our desires are here for a reason. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, how can we clarify this? We are here to flow. We are here to, fill the space where it's needed, and we are here to listen to the signs of the universe. We don't need to control. There's no controlling that's needed when you are, trying to co-create with the universe to create a life of your highest self. I really loved today's message, guys, and let me know if this resonated in the comments, or a lot of you guys have been like messaging me. I love to hear it. A lot of deep things came through, so I'm so curious if this resonated. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.